the Cowboys also had made a little bit more releases as they released Steven Parker, Tyler Cole, Jake McQuaid, and Brian Anger. Now, the last two, those are not permanent. Those are not permanent. Jake McQuaid is the long snapper. He's not going to be permanently cut. Same goes for Brian Anger. He's the punter. He's not going to be permanently cut. They did this to move some guys around, to be able to withstand through all the laws that the NFL puts in place of you can only carry 53, but you can rise two more to play with 55. The Cowboys did this just so they can move some guys around off the COVID list, and then they would resign McQuaid and Anger back, which is what they did. Steven Parker and Tyler Coyle is on the practice squad. Steven Parker is not in that situation quite yet, but who knows what can happen in the next few days. The Cowboys had decided before going through the decision to go down to 53, the Cowboys activated defensive end Chauncey Golson, their third-round pick out of Iowa. They activated him from PUP list. The situation that came through was the Cowboys were looking at it. They have, because at this point they still had, so go back a few days, they had Chauncey Golson and Tristan Hill on PUP list. Tristan Hill, we don't know if he's going to play at all. We don't know because he doesn't. We haven't seen it if he's going to play. Chauncey Golson, we somewhat saw it, so we don't exactly know, but who knows what can happen. And the fact that Golson can kick inside and play some defensive tackle, this could work. Maybe not fully, maybe not to the max that we would want, but it could happen. So when the Cowboys made the decision to promote Golson, it was because they didn't know, they didn't want two guys to be off for 6 weeks, where they were just comfortable with putting Tristan Hill through that. Also, if you're wondering, the Cowboys could not activate you off PUP list, go through IR, put you on one day after, put you on IR. They can't do that. So it had to be, we're activating you, hoping you're ready for the season. That's how it works. The Cowboys had decided to release Brian Hoyer because, as much as we know, he's probably going to make the practice squad, but it puts him in a very, very interesting position because now you're talking two quarterbacks in Mac Jones and Stidham. Your two backups. Are you starting and backup? So Brian Hoyer, I predict, will make the practice squad, but at this point, he hasn't made the practice squad as of yet. The Packers traded for Punter Traded from the Rams. This was a little surprising because they do have J.K. Scott. So, unless something happened to J.K. Scott, I'm not positive. When I have more news, I will say it on that situation. But right now, Bohorquez is a Green Bay Packer. The Cowboys decided to claim quarterback Will Grier off waivers and also signed former foe running back Corey Clement, who was, for a one-year contract, former Eagle, former Giant, now a Cowboy. And the Will Grier signing was a little bit of a shocker. He played at West Virginia. I did watch a little bit of him in college. Doug Nussmeier was the offensive coordinator, so there is some familiarity there. The concern is, can Grier beat out Cooper Rush for the backup job to Dak Prescott? Some shocking news, actually, was K.J. Wright signed with the Las Vegas Raiders on a 1-year contract. And so, as I said before, it was shocking because we heard some rumors of a few months ago that the Cowboys were interested, and that just never came to be because they could never. I mean, K.J. Wright, with his coverage ability and his ability to understand what's going on, it was shocking the Cowboys went in a different direction. But they feel comfortable with the 5 guys that they do have in Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, Keanu Neal, and Jurrel Casey. So I think it wasn't a desperate move that they had to go get K.J. Wright. But the Raiders decided, let's bring K.J. to Las Vegas. It was a good move, I think, on the Raiders' part, because they are a little weak in that position. And now you have a Super Bowl winner in K.J. Wright, who's a great coverage linebacker. He's fantastic at it. So, I think this was a great signing by the Las Vegas Raiders. Former Titans and Broncos defensive lineman Jurrel Casey has decided to retire after 10 seasons. The Casey retirement was a little shocking to me, but not fully, because he was not picked up through all offseason. Now I thought he would be, but he is on the older side. He was on the older side of 30, is what how the saying goes. You're on the older side of 30, we're not going to be interested. That's how this works. Casey, who was injured last year, probably showed that he didn't have much left, if any, in the tank when he went to Denver, now has decided to retire after 10 years. So congratulations to Jurrel Casey on an amazing career. An all-pro, a Pro Bowler, has now decided to retire.